Wow.
愛がしらけてしまわぬように。今日は尾崎豊さんの I love you 聞いてみるよ。 Let's find out。 こんにちは、全人類と友達になる男、僕がミスターウジです。そして
バンです。
今日のテーマは尾崎豊さんの I love you 聞いてみよう。
I love you. So it's an 英語の歌手、アメリカの歌手、イギリスの歌手。Because the song's called I love you, right?
尾崎豊言うとるやろ。
Why is it not 愛してる or something like that? Or 大好き。Yeah.
おー、すごい、それいい質問だね。
Why?
いや、なんで日本人は愛してるじゃなくて I love you を曲に使うのか。だってさ、普通に例えば日本人同士で
Okay.
デートしてるじゃん。
Alright.
で、バイコね。
Okay, バイコちゃん。
藤尾
藤尾
デートしてて、
Okay.
バイコ今日も綺麗だよ I love you。いや、なら不自然じゃん、急に I love you って日本人同士で言ったら。でも曲の中では結構 I love you って言葉を使うのよ。
Yeah, okay.
なんでなんだろうね。
Here's the thing. So my Japanese teacher was telling me about how when you say things in your native language, it means something more, right? So I think that like she was trying to explain to me in class that she's like, "Oh, Byron, I like you," and then she's like, "But that doesn't mean anything, right?" But then if it's like, "Ah, Byron が好き," it's like, "Ah, 恥ずかしい." You know, she was trying to tell that to me, and I'm like, oh, that does mean a lot. So maybe they're saying I love you because like they don't want to really say like 大好きだよ, but instead they're doing it in a way that they're more comfortable with doing. That's why this title is called I love you. Is it probably connected to that?
愛してるって言ったら、意味が日本語の中でカチッと決まってしまう。もうこの四角が決まってしまう。愛してるっていう感情。でも I love you って言ったらこの四角がわーんと違う形になって、もしかしたらもっと軽くなるかもしれないし、もしかしたらもっとめちゃくちゃ深くなるかもしれないみたいな、そういうなんかその神秘的な感じ、意味を持たせるからみんな I love you って使うんだと思う。
Oh my gosh, that's very deep.
そうまだ全然話入ってきてないのよ。行きましょう。
Okay, let's listen. So we reacted to this guy before, right?
そう、僕らのチャンネルじゃないんだけど、ポラロイド P パトリックっていうオランダ人の YouTuber が運営してる
Love positivity やってる人
のチャンネルで一回リアクションさせてもらったんだけど、まあその尾崎豊さんの I love you っていうすごい名曲があるから、
Oh, okay.
今日はそれをリアクションしていきたいと思います。
Well, I'm looking forward to him because this guy's a legend.
ちなみに尾崎豊さんはこれ17歳で作ったらしいから、
Dude.
それも含めて動画見ていきたいと思います。それでは行ってみましょう。
I hear the girl scream. Wow. Oh my goodness, that face tells you a lot of different things. A lot of performers, they sing toward an audience, right? They sing to the hearts of everybody. But this looks like he's thinking about the person he wrote it for. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't care who like listens to his voice. He's like, I just hope that through this sea of people who's listening to me right now, I hope that one person who I wrote this song about is listening.
観客に向けて歌ってるんじゃなくて、バイロンが言ったように作った人に向けて歌ってるのを観客がフォローしていくみたいな感じね。
Exactly. That's the face he's making right now. You know what I mean? It's not an emotionless face. This is full of emotion right now. Because a lot of performers, they smile and they sing a sad song, and maybe it's like kind of like a fake sad smile. This is not a fake emotion, right? Everybody remembers like this kind of face when you think about that certain kind of wakare, right? Yeah, that's incredible. You can already tell that he's singing from the soul just from those lines.
声もさ、めっちゃハスキーでかっこいいじゃん。でも、なんか無理やり声かっこつけて出そうとしてる感じないもんね。
Right.
ね、
right.
僕らがハスキーな声出そうとしたら、はぁーって頑張らないといけないけど、自然に悲しいことを考えて、ただただ歌って音にしたら、かっこいい声になったみたいな。
Right, right. He's doing it ever so naturally, and that's really, really hard to do, you know? It's hard to focus the emotions that you feel as well as put singing technique on top of it. Because sometimes, like, especially like when we sing, we just try to do the technique. I'm like, I have to do the technique, and we focus on doing the technique. Let's say we're doing so much vibrato, or like, I need a punch at this one. I need to more energy here, but then we don't really put any kind of emotion to it. So it just sounds like yelling. There's no tact. It's just all like,
はい、今日は僕らに足りないものを学んで帰ろうと思います。最後にね、尾崎豊さんの心で歌うことをね、真似できるように頑張ろうか。
はい、頑張ります。
いつもテクニック頑張っちゃうからね。何もかも許された恋じゃないから、二人はまるで捨て猫みたい。
Oh no. Holy. Wow. It's like, because remember how we were talking about Tamaki Koji, right? And when he would sing Ikanaide, and it's like he was crying while I was singing, right? So with Ikanaide, it was more of like a very like sad, like crying, like just don't go, don't leave me, and it's a very, very like kanashi kind of feeling. This one feels like a kurushi sadness, the way that he's singing, you know? So successfully putting his emotion, he's crying while he's singing, right? But it feels like more of heart-wrenching as opposed to like just accepting sadness.
いや、めっちゃわかるです。なんか、玉置浩二さんは、歌がめちゃくちゃ上手じゃん。
Right.
何でもできちゃうから、神様みたいなところから見て、人生って悲しいよね。
Yeah.
でもどうしようもできないよね。
Yeah.
なんか上から見て言ってる感じ。それを表現してる感じ。
Yes, yes,
で、
yes.
尾崎豊さんは、それを、実際に自分が悲しいとこで、なんでこんな悲しいんだって。
That makes so much sense.
わかるわかる。
Yeah, I got it.
で、なんとかしたいけど、どうしようもできない。なんでこんな悲しいんだって、ずっと訴えてる感じ。
Yeah. That's, oh man, that's a big difference between them two. It's really amazing. And like, because he's putting so much emotion into it, all these different singing techniques naturally feel like they're coming out. You know, it doesn't feel like he's focusing too much on the techniques. He's focusing on like, what is the feeling of the song? That is his main focus. And that's incredible.
この部屋は落ち葉に埋もれた。なんか部屋はのところがさ、声がかすれる感じがすごい良くない？
I think that's the kurishisa that he was feeling. この部屋! Oh, wow. You can feel that in his voice. It doesn't feel like he's purposely putting that there. He's actually speaking from his soul.
いや、そう。なんか魂が叫んでる感じする。
Yes, yes. Oh my gosh, I think we have to analyze that 4-verse that just happened, because that was a very, very heavy 4-verse, wouldn't you think? But here, if we look at the lyrics, right? きしむベッドの上で優しさお持ちより right? So then that means that they were probably in the bed together. Right? They were probably doing something. きつく体抱きしめ合えば. And then the way that he was singing it felt like it was like the last time that he was with his lover. Right? Yeah.
ラストタイムなのか、どうなのかわかんないけど、ただ長くは続かない感じはすごいする。もしかしたらもうこれで最後かもしれないし、次がダメなのかもしれないし、まあ、そもそも許された恋じゃないって言ってるから、二人は一緒にいれる関係じゃないけど、部屋の中に逃げてきて、まあ、できることと言ったら、二人で抱きしめ合うことだけなんだろうね。僕がすごい好きなのは、さっきバイロンが言ってくれた後の、そこからまた二人は目を閉じるよって言って、目を閉じるよね。で、悲しい歌に愛がしらけてしまわぬようにって言ってるから、悲しい歌が流れてきて、愛がしらけてしまわぬようにって、多分その、現実に戻りたくないから、現実に戻らないように、二人の世界に目を閉じて入ろう。夢の世界にじゃないけど。いや、でも多分そういうことを言ってるんだと思う。
That's very deep, right? Like you're with that person and then maybe they just lie to you. Like, I love you. I'll never leave you. I'll never leave you. And then that's the world you want to believe is real. But in reality, that's not what is happening. Right?
現実が辛すぎるから、二人の愛に逃げてるんよね、多分。歌詞もやばいな、これ。
This is a very, very deep song.
この曲でさ、英語使われてるところって I love you だけじゃん。
Yeah.
やっぱり愛してるじゃすごく強すぎる、ね。
Yeah.
でも二人の愛はすごく不安定なものだから、そこをこうぼやかしたくて I love you って言ってるんかなと思って。これ I love you を使ったことによってすごい名曲になってる気がする。
Right. Oh my god. 泣いてる。Oh my god!
すげえ。初めて見た。この演技？
Well, it's not acting.
ちょっと今さ、やば。これやばいな。ちょっとこれ来るな。なんか今もうさ、マイクが女の人に見えて、キスするんかと思ったもん。本当に優しく。やばこれ。
That's oh my god. I have no words for that. Yeah, I've never seen anybody like hug the mic like this. But like in those 5 seconds when he was like before he said I love you, and then he started to hug the mic, you could feel his pain. I feel like we have like so much empathy with the way that he was feeling and the way that he was like demonstrating his emotion with his song.
こうやって歌い出すときにキスする感じにめっちゃ見えて。
Right.
若すぎる二人の愛には
Oh wow.
触れられぬ秘密がある I love you 今の暮らしの中ではたどり着けない一つに重なり生きてゆく恋を夢見て傷つくだけの二人だよ何度も愛してるって聞くお前はこの愛なしでは生きてさえゆけないと
なんかかっこよくね? He's so cool. Look at the sweat like dripping down his face, and not only that, like there's a small fan blowing his hair, and then on top of that, like you know how a lot of men, right? A lot of boys, like they don't show their emotion because that's not manly. That's not something that a guy just hide it, gaman. And like just go on with your life, right? Whether it's about heartbreak, whether it's about stress at work, you're just told as a man to just keep it all in, right? So the fact that he is showing this very, very vulnerable side of himself to his audience, and he's showing like what he really feels on the inside, is something that is so respectable for a singer to do. You know, especially as like coming from a gender that never does this kind of thing. Right? So it's really, it makes him like so cool
2番の最初の I love you のところから1番よりこう強く声出して、1番はみんなをこう引きつけるために優しくちょっと悲しい感じで歌ってて、で2番はもっと強くどうしようもできない悲しさみたいなのを伝えてくれてるよね。
Yeah, I recognize that too. Like the second verse, he started to do it much stronger, right? And I was like, "Whoa, did he just get even better at singing?" Like, oh my goodness.
何度も愛してるって聞くお前は、この愛なしでは生きてさえ行けないとって言ってるよね。何回も愛してる、私のこと愛してるって聞くってことはさ、すごい不安っていうことじゃん。愛されてるけど足りてないんだよね、やっぱり。この状況が不安定だから、そう、どうしても私のこと愛してる愛してる愛してるってずっと確認したいよね。もうだからこの歌に出てくる登場人物2人ね、男と女の人は、聞いてる人も含めて、みんなこの恋はうまくいかないってもう分かってる。もう辛い。
すごいだけど辛いね。
辛い。
Also, let me say a few things about the end right there, right? Like you can notice that in the last few verses, like you can see that his voice was starting to get a little bit off key, and it was really hard for him to sing. And so I think that analyzing that part, that was like his weakest part, right? That was the weakest that he was, and then at the end, he like did his absolute best to get back to the same note, right? So I think that at first, like he was very weak, and then he's like, you know what, I still have to like get through the end. So I'm going to go back to the key, right? So he showed just him, like usually when you listen to a singer and they go off key, it doesn't their emotion doesn't really come to you as clearly, right? But him going off key had so much meaning to it. It meant that he was full of emotion, and he going through this was like the worst thing in his whole life, right? And he was able to communicate that through an off note, and that is absolutely amazing, don't you think?
僕がすごい感じたのは2番の初め、若すぎる二人の愛にはくらいの時はまだ強い声だったじゃん。強い気持ちで、無理だって分かってるけど、なんとかしたい、なんとかするんだっていう気持ちがすごく強くあったんじゃないかなと思うよね。で、ここの最後のところは、なんかもうどうしようもできなくて、すごく頑張ったけど、もう本当にどうしようもできなくて、諦めるしかなくて、辛くて。で、二人の世界に逃げ込むから、2番の初めは無理だけど、なんかを変えてやるって思ってて強い声なんだけど、もう最後は諦めの悲しい声なの。それを表現できるのがすごいね、一曲の中で。最初と2番の初めと最後のサビで歌い方が全部変わってるから、
Oh my god.
悲しい感じで終わったらね、動画良くないよね、みんな見てる方にもね。この動画リアクションしてくださいってコメント欄くれた人にも申し訳ないんで、元気になれるかな。ソウルを盗んで歌ってみよっか。
Alright.
Tarin.
Tarin. きしむベッドの上で優しさ持ち寄りきつく体抱きしめ合えば
それからまた二人は目を閉じるよ悲しい歌に愛がしらけてしまわぬように
それからまた二人は目を閉じるよ
悲しい歌に愛がしらけてしまわぬようにこれ元気にはなれんなはいということで今日は尾崎豊さんの I love you 聞いてみましたどうだった
Wow, oh my god dude, that guy is a legendary singer. I wish that I lived in the generation that he was singing to see that performance live. Like, to see somebody wear their soul, like, I thought of a really weird example earlier. It's like, the way that he sings is like an inside-out body. Like, he shows everything on the inside first, and then the fakeness, like, doesn't exist. He just shows everything right at the get-go, and that's the way that he sings, and I can really, really respect that about him. Wow, even singing it, like, this is such a beautiful melodic song. It's very sad, but it's such a very bittersweet kind of melancholy, beautiful melody.
おすすめしてくれた方ありがとうございました。僕らにリアクションしてほしい曲があったら、よければコメント欄まで教えてください。それでは次の動画でまたお会いしましょう。バイバイ。チャンネル登録お願いします。